Hey now, and welcome to the City Off Campus with your two favorite hosts, Sammy Summerfeld and Jack McFarland. And we've got a special guest today. We've got former Iowa Hawkeye basketball player Cyrus Tate. How are things going for you today?
Are going smooth? Just trying to get that workout in today. Staying busy.
Yeah, that's very important with everything going on right now.
Yeah, most definitely. With the coronavirus and stuff going on, it's been a crazy couple of months. So just being able to get out and get a different focus. Get a lot of stress relief off. Going to the gym or being outside and just doing things. It's always good.
Yeah. So, my first question for you is what was your journey to becoming an Iowa Hawkeye? And how did you end up at Iowa? And what was that experience and process to becoming a Hawkeye?
Oh man, my journey was crazy. The funny thing about me playing basketball is I didn't really start playing basketball until I was a sophomore in high school. Freshman, sophomore. Um, During eighth grade, I played, but I never played. I was on the team, but I never played. I was always at the end of the bench. Never got an opportunity. A lot of the guys that were like the star players in eighth grade, we got to high school, and they became the guys that didn't play that much. But at the same time, I learned so much from it. And I got to thank my basketball coach, Roy Condati. He's a Hall of Famer in Illinois, and I remember him walking up to me and saying, "You want to play basketball?" And I didn't know anything, and I started out on the freshman B team and kind of played A little bit, but I only did it was only because I was tall. So I think coach really spent the off season working on me a lot, put me with the varsity guys, and they really. Man, they really put it to me, it helped me get really tough. Stayed in the weight room every single day, every morning, and he threw me out there to the wolves. We used to go to Chicago to Olive Harvey College and play, all the games, and we playing against big names during that time. We playing against Sean Dockery, we playing against Will Bynum, and a lot of other names. It's just a lot of big names during that time. During that year, D Brown, Shannon Brown. We going up. I'm going up against these guys as a sophomore, and we in the city circuit, and we playing against a lot of big names. Chicago was really big during that time, and it helped our team mold ourselves into a great team. During my senior year, we went to the state championship, and we played Sean Livingston before he went to the NBA. And it was a crazy year. We accomplished so many things, and I had the opportunity to play with Julian Wright. He was my teammate in high school. Excel Hardy, Freddie Barnes. He led the nation in the receptions back in the day with Bowling Green. So we had a team full of athletes, and we held each other accountable, and we just had a great group of guys. And I'm by far it's probably one of the best teams I've ever been on. We just all clicked and all made sense, and I owe it to them guys to get me to the point of getting to Iowa. After the high school, I ended up going to junior college. Obviously, I didn't have the grades at the time. And to be honest with you, I really didn't know what direction. I didn't know I was going to get a scholarship. I didn't know anything about this stuff. My family, no one played college sports. I was the only person. So it was a huge blessing to be able to play in the Big Ten. And I grew up watching Big Ten basketball. So that's why I kind of geared towards Big Ten and versus any other school. So, I was able to go to junior college. I went to Vincennes University in Indiana. Um, that experience was different for me. It was my first year of college, so it was a weird situation. I just really felt like I just didn't belong there. So I stayed there for a semester and I transferred and ended up going to Northeast Community College in Norfolk, Nebraska. And I think, Coach Anderson, Dan Anderson, he gave me the opportunity to just, focus. And, being in a small town between Norfolk and Lincoln, Nebraska, there's nothing to do. It's nothing but farmland. So, I buckled down, focused on my academics, and took that whole year. I was taking 20 plus hours a semester.
Wow.
And I took 20 plus hours a semester for those 2 years. So I really grinded it out so I can get 3 years of eligibility at Iowa. So and I stayed there for the summer. I was the only person there for summer school, and it was a crazy journey. Like I did a lot of sacrifices just to get to to Iowa. But during that time in junior college, I had a really good time. We had a great group of guys. We had a lot of D1 talent. We had a guy that was going to Minnesota. Guy that was getting recruited by USC. We ended up going to Southern Miss, and another guy that went to New Mexico. And we had a good team. I think my first game playing in junior college, I had like 30. So it was a crazy experience. Coach just put the ball in my hand, gave me a lot of freedom. And during that time, I led the nation in JUCO in like field goal percentage. I was like top 10 in scoring, like top 10 in rebounding, and I think I was like I want to say top 15 in the nation as a player
Wow.
in junior college. And I was able to get JUCO All American. I think third team, second and third team, my first year playing JUCO. So I guess that made college coaches come in and wanted to check me out. I remember the time when Steve Alford came into the university, the campus at my junior college, and I had no idea who he was, and everybody's like, and all about Steve
Yeah.
Alford, like, oh, Steve Alford, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't know him, because I knew who he was, but it seemed like Steve was a great guy. I had an opportunity to talk to him. He definitely said, hey, you got an opportunity to play, and I was all for the challenge, up for the challenge. And Greg Lanson also, he recruited me really hard. I think he was the point guy with the recruiting, and he just said, "Hey, Cyrus, want to come here?" And in my mind, I had other schools that was offering me. I could have went to Miami. I could have went to. I want to say, I think I could have went to Purdue. I'm not sure. San Diego State, they offered me. Oklahoma, and I want to say Pitt during the time they offered.
Okay. Yeah. And Pitt had some NBA talent at that time
Yeah,
too.
yeah, they did. But you know what? It was crazy. My whole idea of coming to Iowa I wasn't even thinking about that. For some reason, I hate to say this, but I wanted to play in the Big Ten, and I wanted at the time I was wanted to go to Illinois, and I
They
guess
were
the
good
coach
too.
made a statement or made a comment saying that I wasn't a Roger Powell, I wasn't athletic enough, or something like that, and I was like, what, and they had a guy on the team that during our high school time, it was like my arch nemesis, and it was like a rival between each other, like me and a guy by the name of Sean Pruitt, and I don't know, I just had a chip on my shoulder. I'm like, you know what, that I feel like if I didn't belong there, I'm a show them I belong there. So I decided to go to Iowa. I went to the campus for the first time. The first time I went there, I enjoyed it. I don't think I went on any other visits. When I went on my visit, I think my host was Tony Freeman, but it was really like Doug Thomas, and I met him. Doug was a great guy, and was able to go on campus, check out what's going on. Of course they took me downtown, and I was just like, wow, I love this place, and just fell in love with Iowa City. And
Yeah.
I don't regret my decision. I just love the culture at Iowa. I know we had a rough season, a rough couple of seasons. We didn't get to the tournament and stuff like that. And I really wish that we could have did some better things. But we was calling it a transitional period. I first get there on campus my first year with Steve Alford, and next year he's gone, and Lance is gone. Lance is gone as soon as I get there. Then Alford's gone that year. So you find yourself starting from scratch.
Yeah. What was that moment like with the coaching transition? With a guy like Alford who had experience as a Big Ten player and Big Ten coach to a very different stint with another coach. So what was that transition like in the middle of your college career when you expected kind of being there with one guy during your time at Iowa?
It was very difficult. I committed to Steve Alford. So you plan on. I feel like anytime a player commits to a college, he's giving his coach 4 years of himself. And you spend that first year of the coach getting to know you, actually who you are as a person. And then you spend those other years building up to that, to the point where you get to your senior year where it's like, all right, I got ultimate trust in you. I molded you. Let's win. You know what I expect. So it's very difficult. Some programs, I put my head down to a lot of programs that have new coaches coming in, and they make some noise, maybe because their team is cohesive or they got a good concept. It's a lot of times when you get a new coach, you don't know which direction you want to go. You don't know who to follow, and it often gets difficult. So it was very tough. When the new coach came in, he didn't know me. He never recruited me. So I have to prove myself worthy of getting some playing time and getting minutes. I went from playing with Steve Alford, but at the same time, I was raw. I came in fresh from junior college. People expect you to go from junior college and just play right away and be this superstar, but you have to be able to, it's this trust factor with coaches. I knew I wasn't the go-to guy. We had Adam Haluska, we had Mike Henderson, we had guys that have a reputation, and it's their time. You got to follow their lead, and when you get a new coach coming in, it's do you follow the new guys' lead or the guys that are there, or who to keep, who not to keep, and it was very tough. I think my first year with Coach Licklider was an extremely difficult time for me. It was a very down time for me. I felt like in the beginning of the season, I didn't get the time I feel like I deserved at that moment. Or, maybe, I could have ran from my problems and transferred, or I could have did all these different things. A lot of things were going through my mind, but at the same time, I talked to my family, my mom and stuff, and my dad, and I was looking at my journey. I just realized that it was best for me not to run from my situation, my problems, but to face it and to make the best of it. So, I just kept my head down, worked hard in practice, and just waited for my opportunity. Unfortunately, my opportunity came when Jared went down. It was a terrible thing. And, I hate that happen to anybody. Jared was a good player, and we needed him. He's a great guy. And never want anything like that to happen to anyone in order for you to get an opportunity. But, that happened, and then, and I took advantage of it. And after that, coach looked at me different, I guess, at the time. And he trusted me more, gave me more opportunities, and then you just try to take advantage of it and just build on that. And I think that's what I did. Coming into around the junior year, leading up to the senior year before I got injured.
Yeah, and how did you, in that tough period of figuring out your role, figuring out the relationship with the new coach, how did that eventually evolve into you becoming a captain for Iowa basketball and carrying a team where, despite, injuries and, not getting the opportunities of, going to the NCAA tournament and stuff and not being as talented as you hoped the team would be, how did you lead that team in those tough situations, and how did you find your role there?
Well, I don't know. For my times of being in high school and being on a team, on the good teams I was a part of, I was a leader, but I wasn't the vocal leader. It was almost like lead by example. I always knew my role as a player is to do the dirty work. Get into guys. Stop my assignment. And I take pride in the defensive end. That was always a thing my coach in high school always preached to me is defense. And that was, when I first started playing basketball, that was the only thing he wanted me to do was defense. He didn't care about scoring, just guard. So, and there's also a Chicago thing. We very prideful, and we like to lock in on guys, and I just carry that over. I'm not gonna lie, I came in my junior year, with a chip on my shoulder in some type of way, because it's like, man, I really wish Coach gave me this opportunity sooner, and I really wish I could have, got the development and all these other things, and but at the same time, and I'm thankful for Coach for helping me, because Coach Licklider really, slowed the game down for me. It was Everything was too fast. It was like, it's very mechanical in a way in the beginning. And now with Licklider, he's teaching me how to think the game and, do this, do that. What do you see first before you do something? And, a lot of people can say things a lot about Coach Licklider, but, he knows his X's and O's like no other. He's very meticulous about certain things. And he, he really taught me how to be a player, an actual basketball player, actually knowing, understanding to be, selfless, not thinking about yourself and thinking about the team and, putting everybody else first before yourself, because if you do that, then you'll reap the benefits of it. So, junior year, man, I definitely felt that spark, especially at the end. I said, senior year, I had all these goals for myself. Like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that. My junior year, I was third in the Big Ten in rebounding. It was DJ White, over there on that, during that year, and the big guys from Michigan State. So I felt like we had some talent there. Like we had some players that that compete, but we just couldn't get over that hump. I'm not sure what it was, but I just know that in the beginning we were starting off really well. I think we had that game with Kansas State where we won, and it was a surprise to everybody because Kansas State was supposed to beat us, and we beat them in Vegas, and I felt like things were kind of like rolling smooth for us. And then started Big Ten season, we had the big game against Minnesota, and the ankle injury, and I'm like, man, like it really broke me. I really wanted to come back and play. It was so difficult. You have no idea how painful that ankle injury was. I tried so hard to kind of come back, but my ankle was just not having it. I think that was the worst injury I ever had in my life.
With Iowa basketball, as a player, some of you brought up some games that were highlights, like the Kansas State game. But what are some of your favorite Big Ten memories and Big Ten play, like Big Ten games? And what's your favorite Iowa State memory going up against Iowa State?
I love playing Michigan State. I love playing the hard teams for some reason. Like, I live for Big Ten season. Like, regular season was cool, but Big Ten season, it was like, it just separated the men from the boys, and I was all for it. So, I definitely rose to the occasion, for the big games. And
I've seen the Michigan State dunks.
Yeah, big names, stuff like that, like big teams. Like, I'm all for it. I just want to represent and just do everything I can and just kind of be the guy that shut whoever it is down. And, I'm locked in. I used to, before every game, I used to take a Red Bull and drink water and just sit there and just had the jitters and just, be ready. And then as soon as the game starts, I'm ready to go. And then, like, when that second wind hits and if I catch it, oh man, I'm good to go. It's like nothing can stop me. I feel invincible out there. Also, a good Iowa State game was the one against Craig Brackens at home. I think that was a game that was a real good game. I enjoyed that game only because of the hype that was behind it. It just really drove me to unbelievable measures. I just remember the week of the game. I think before we played them, he had a real big game, maybe against Kansas or something like that. I'm not sure. And, I remember going to practice and the coach was like, yeah, Cyrus, what you going to do with so-and-so? And he, he had this against so-and-so. And I'm like, man, I don't even know who this guy is. Like, I'm not paying attention to him. I'm not looking at ESPN. I'm not looking at the stats. I'm not looking at anything. So I don't know. I'm like, who is this guy? I'm like, all right, I guess he's a good player. And I just kept hearing his name all the time. Every time a reporter used to come to the arena, ask questions about this guy. Every time somebody on my team or a coach, we're doing something in practice and they yelling at me about this guy. Like, oh, he's going to do this to you. He's going to do that to you. And I'm just like, going crazy. I'm sick of hearing it. So, when that happened, I was just like, all right, I'm not going to say anything else to anybody else. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm going to wait till the game comes. Game comes, like, I think that was the most focused I've ever been. I just knew, like, I was like, all right, I gotta shut everybody up because they think that this guy's gonna destroy me or something, or he's gonna have a career night against me. And it just drove me crazy. So I made sure I went to bed early that night. I did everything I was supposed to do. And tip off came, got the tip, and I was just locked in. And after that, it was just, I think I was a little bit more ready than he was that day. I don't think he was expecting what he was, going to get from me. But man, I think I had just a second level of energy that game, and we end up winning. End up shutting them down, and then we get to the media room, and I'm like, okay, you taking Craig Bracken's questions, because I was just so sick of hearing it. It was just ridiculous. I just couldn't believe that, you know, he would just count you out like that. And I'm like, man, I play in the Big Ten too. I play in the high level too, and I guard big names all the time too. So why is this guy any different from anybody else? But it was a big moment. It was a memorable moment for me because I think it really showed the staff that they could trust me, and I could be the guy that can handle the big assignments because I was that guy in high school playing against Mike Hall and Sean Dockery, Shannon Brown. We played against those guys in high school on a consistent basis. It's just it was just unbelievable to me that a lot of guys can give me a lot of credit for things that I could do. But it's okay.
Was playing high school basketball in the city of Chicago tougher than Big Ten play for you, or was Big Ten play tougher than, by the time you were a junior or senior when the game was more slowed down?
It was kind of equal. We were, it's funny, we were the suburban school. So, Homewood Flossmoor is a school in the south suburbs. And, the crazy thing about during that time in 2004, 2003 to the 2004 year is that I felt like the south suburbs was the best basketball you're going to catch in the whole state of Illinois, period. So, sometimes we used to, our coach, he was a former coach at Westinghouse on the west side of Chicago. And, he used to take us down there and we play games and play against the city schools. And they're like, oh, you 708 guys. And, I'm like, listen, like most of the guys that's on our team, we from the city. So, we, of course, went to school in the suburbs, we moved, but don't make it seem like since we're a suburb school, we're gonna come to your place and you're just gonna just bully us. Like it just wasn't going down like that. So, a lot of teams they used to have that perception in the beginning, and then we used to start beating them by like 40 points and 50 points, and then it was they started taking us a little bit more serious. So we used to go to the city a lot. Sometimes in our leisure time, our team used to go and play at this park in the city called Cole Park. And it was like a big summer tournament, and it was just crazy. It was like some Rucker Park type stuff. But our high school teams would come over there and used to throw down with them. So we wasn't afraid of a lot of teams. We just came with it, and we had Julian. He's a special talent. He ended up being a top lottery pick in the NBA. He played with Kansas, and he was just a great teammate, great player for us, and he's just a freak, just a freak of nature. This guy has so much talent and did so many different things. But I think the thing that separated us from everybody else was our point guard excelled, man. His leadership was through the roof. I learned a lot from him moving forward in my career and playing pro because he laid the foundation for what we wanted as a team, and he was everything to us.
Would you say that shutting people up and asserting yourselves and your teams as the top dogs on the court would be what was driving you? Because I really feel like sitting here and just listening for the past half hour, you have gone through like high school, junior college, everywhere that you've just been talked down upon and just never given a chance, and you've always been that underdog just to fight for a say and just to be recognized for what you're doing. Is that what competitively drives you, just to be that underdog and to prove everyone wrong?
Oh, most definitely. I always have played the underdog role. I'm definitely a rise to the challenge. Anytime a challenge arises in any level, anything, I feel like I'm the most competitive guy. If I go on a date, I'm winning. If we doing anything, But it's just something that's it's just instilled in you. How I grew up is very hard. My dad, great guy, but if I wasn't waking up early in the morning to go cut the grass, I wasn't playing the summer basketball games that we had. And doing all these different things. So that kind of instilled a certain drive in me and competitiveness, because I knew I got to do this, I got to do that in order to do this. So it seemed like a lot of things that I have to do, like in practice or things that become hard, it's just, I feel like it never fazed me, because it's like, all right, I got to do this. Even though I don't want to do it, I do it. So yeah, it's definitely, I think that by far is what has motivated me all the way through is my drive, and just wanting to prove people wrong, because I know I'm capable, I know I'm able, and it ended up working.
Now, did that drive to prove people wrong kind of drive you after your college career to go overseas and to play professionally, internationally? Did you just want to keep proving to yourself and to others that I still belong in basketball?
Yeah, I feel like every college player sometimes look at blogs and all these little crazy things, and people say off the wall stuff, ridiculous things, and sometimes someone may say something to me, or I may see something, and I'm just like, okay, I had an opportunity to live across the world and play in different countries. I think I lived in about 6-7 different countries, in my playing career.
Which ones? Which countries?
I lived in Japan. I lived in Turkey. I lived in Israel. I lived in Germany. I lived in Mexico, Argentina, China for a second, Venezuela. I've been around, but I feel like every time I get in a situation or get on a team, I feel like I always do the same thing. It's like a revolving door. Same thing happens over and over again, and I think it's perfect because it helps me find my motivation. Whatever it is I need to help drive me to keep continuing to do what I'm doing. But I don't have any regrets about it. I feel like I think I was the last standing of all the Hawkeyes playing professional. I stopped playing last year, so I think I'm the last man standing during my era of playing professionally. But I wouldn't take any of it back. It's been some invaluable experiences. I'm hoping to take my invaluable experiences and transfer it to more of a corporate experience, but I'm kind of dealing with that right now. So wherever the ball lands is that's where I'll go.
What was your biggest challenge or struggle when you first went overseas, and what was kind of the adjustment period, or how did you learn how to be a pro in different countries and kind of have to transition into different cultures, different cities, different types of fans? How did you kind of adjust throughout your career?
Japan was my first team I played for, and I was in this city up north in Hokkaido. It was extremely cold. It was snowing all day. It was ridiculous snow up to here. So I'm there by myself. I don't know anything. I don't know the language. I remember eating 7-Eleven almost that whole year because it was like right next door, because I didn't know how to really cook and I didn't know how to be self-sufficient. I didn't know how to do any of these things. And it was very tough for me mentally because, you used to being around so many, your friends, your family, and, you got that 16-hour time difference. So you catch yourself up, staying up late because you want to see what's going on back home. And I'm in front of my laptop all day and the TV's off. I don't understand what's going on. And it was I feel like it was a very depressive state, it's only 2 Americans on the team and the other American was with his wife and it was just me. So I told myself, I'm either going to sit here and be depressed, wanting to go home, feeling homesick, or I'm going to embrace where I'm at and explore. So I just got out the house and started walking around and found different restaurants to go to, different places, ended up being my favorite places to go to. And, just kind of just being out, being around, my teammates didn't really hang out with me because we didn't speak the same language. So, we had team functions, I'll go, but, I'm over there just walking around, trying to find something to do. And it ended up working out for me. My first year it was really bad, but I think after that I was able to get used to it, get acclimated to being in another country, and, saying, hey, don't stay in the house because it's not good for you. I just got out, and it worked. After that first year, where did I go? I think I went to the D League. I think I went to training camp with the D League.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. You were picked by the Bakersfield Jam in the 4th round in that NBA D League draft. What was that like? Because it shows. I looked online. It shows that like 2.5 weeks later, it says that they waived you. Then, and I was just confused with what even happened with that.
You know what? I don't even know what happened with that. It was it's like a revolving door there too as well. It's like you go there. I went to training camp. It's funny how they do it though. Like they fly you in, they send the bus to come get you. They take you all the way down to Bakersfield, and you in training camp, and it's like nonstop every day. You got practice like 2 times a day. I went through the whole process. Like I think I did pretty well. It was me and a couple other guys that I knew from back home. We competed. Did really well, and people was leaving and coming in every single day. Even if a coach will say we have an off day, he'll like bring some guy in off the plane, and we got practice and we doing drills. And I'm like, we're supposed to be off today. Like it was crazy. But I managed. Some people left. A couple of days after. Like, I managed to stay till the last cut, which says a lot. Maybe I could have got picked or selected. I think I did really well, but I guess I wasn't good enough. Or they had some guys that was affiliated with the Lakers during that time. I think Drew Namick was on that team with me, so I was going up against him a lot, and maybe he had a little bit more upside than me at the time, but I still think I should have been the guy. But it's okay. The coach brought me into his office. Told me that they move in a different direction, and thank me for everything for my time. But I just felt like the timing was off for me to kind of go to a different team in D League because he waited till like the last day to waive me, so I couldn't go to another team because other teams had their rosters already put together. So I just took the L and just took myself overseas. It was no problem, but I just wanted to give myself the opportunity to be in front of get on that stage. I think that was my biggest thing. Rehabbing after college, I left and went straight to California. I signed with Bill Duffy, and I was training with the best players. I was working out with Brandon Jennings and Darren Collison, and Hashim Thabit was with us. And a lot of NBA guys would come in. Earl Watson had an opportunity to play at the men's gym with Katino Mobley, and we like ran the court that day. It was a great moment because we went in the gym and Katino was looking at us. He was like, "Man, we about to lose," and we ended up playing like real good basketball. And we ran the court that day. Like we was the guys. Ryan Hollins and just all those people. Jalen Rose, he was playing with us during that time. So it was a dope experience just being around all those guys. My agent brought me around like a lot of those players, and I had the opportunity to go to Baron Davis' house, and we had like a barbecue, and I met Jessica Alba, and she made me a plate of food, and I was like in shock, like, oh my God, it's Jessica Alba. She made me some food, So it was a dope experience going to LA, being in California, but I learned a lot from the training staff that we had there. We had Dave Miller. I think he's an ESPN commentator.
Yeah.
Now he was like the guy training us, and man, it was rough too doing that. I don't understand. Sometimes people, they read you wrong. I want to come in. I want to work. I want to be the best. And maybe my demeanor at that time looked different, or it gave him a different vibe. But it took him some time for me to kind of grow on him, and we grew on each other. And Dave, I respect that guy. He's a great guy. He helped me turn up my intensity. And him and Tom Pache, like those people, they really like took it up a notch for me. I feel like I was in the best shape of my life being in California. We had to do some really crazy stuff. It was unbelievable.
One thing I wanted to circle back to with your Iowa career, and you've talked a lot about work ethic, and even just now about how you evolved as a player over time. What was it like for you to get the Chris Street Award at Iowa?
It was dope. I knew what Chris Street meant to Iowa and Iowa basketball, and it's an extreme honor to have that award. And I just think that Coach, at the time, Coach saw something in me that represented something that represented Chris Street, and it was an honor to have that. And I don't know, I just felt like I was turning that corner during that time. You got a low moment, you have a high moment, and then coming to the next season, you just turn the corner. And man, the ankle injury, man, I'll never forget it. It's like a defining moment for everything. I felt like we could have did so many good things, but yeah, it was a huge honor having the Chris Street Award. I wish I was able to meet his father. I wish I was able to. I never got the opportunity. I think I did when I graduated from college. I think I met him, but yeah, it was a great thing to have.
That being an Iowa tradition, what are some of your other favorite traditions at Iowa, either as a basketball player or just in general?
Traditions. Well, I feel like I was on the Iowa campus a couple of weeks ago, and I feel like all the traditions that was there are completely gone. So I hate to say that, but
well, like what? Like what is missing that you experienced while you were a student that we aren't experiencing now? Like what?
I'm gonna tell you what I was missing, and they need to bring that immediately. And it's baldies. Okay, that's like the best wrap I've ever had. I don't know why they got rid of it. It's shorts now, right?
Yeah.
The burger bar.
Yeah.
Baldies. They need to bring that place back. I just like the food places at Iowa. We used to have training table, and John Streif, our trainer, he used to let us go to all these different restaurants, and it was amazing. I just loved that. Baldies for sure.
What are some of your favorite spots that are still there?
The Union Bar isn't, if that's one of your favorite. They just closed that last year.
Which one?
The Union Bar, Union.
Hey, who told you the Union Bar was my favorite place?
No one, but I'm just saying they closed it down, so that's the bad news if it is.
Yeah, the Union, a lot of memories, a lot of history in the Union. Yeah, Union was nice, but hey, Iowa City's evolving. Iowa City doesn't want to be the party school.
Oh God.
It's turned into a watered down Des Moines right now.
That's a pretty good way to put it, actually.
Yeah, but hey, the campus looks beautiful. I was there actually a couple of weeks ago, and never in my life have I seen a club or a bar with bottle service. I'm like, this is college. Why we got bottle service? It don't even make sense to me. Who's buying bottles in college? We wasn't doing that. We getting a little 50-cent beers on Tuesday, going to Summit, getting a $2, you call it. Now we getting bottle service? Like, that is the craziest thing to me. Like, that's just taking away the whole college experience. But, hey, times have changed. I have to embrace the change, I guess. So, I'm changing my my drink habits now. I, sip on wine and drink a glass or two and go to bed and watch TV. So I don't have the energy I used to anymore. But
yeah, Iowa City brings out the best in you, especially when you're out on the town past 12 o'clock, I'd say.
Yeah, but I missed the grilled cheese. They had the grilled cheese there in the pad.
Marco's. They actually just opened a restaurant for Marco's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's so good now. They opened one up by Pagliai's in like Hamburg and around there.
The best thing at midnight was Falbo's. Yeah. I used to walk all the way from Padma all the way down to Falbo's over there on the corner, leave out with a big whole pizza, and regret it the next day because I ate all of it and I'm feeling sick.
Did you like Falbo's more than like Gumby's or Airliner? Or
Falbo's is amazing.
I don't know if you just didn't give anything else a try.
Falbo's pizza was amazing. It had a great taste. It was perfect. So I'm taking Falbo's and what else? Man, what's the name of that place? Hamburg. Is it Hamburg Inn?
Yeah.
Hamburg Inn. Yeah, Hamburg Inn.
Yeah.
That place. That was
Yeah.
good.
It's a
And
staple.
yeah, Hamburg's a staple. Thank God they didn't get rid of that. But man, it was one more. I forget. Oh, I gotta give a special shout out to the Wig and Pen. Like, I love the wings and the fries with the cheese. I can't eat it anymore, but sometimes I just want to like take a couple bites of that and pass to the side. Every time I go into Iowa City, I make sure I go to the Wig and Pen, Hamburg Inn, and a Falbo's, and that's it. Everything else is kind of cool. I like the Grays. I go there sometimes, but when I was there last, they wasn't open, and now it's just a whole bunch of new restaurants I've never been to before. So
Yeah, even the few years we've been on campus, we've seen lots of change between the restaurants and all those places.
terrible. Oh, the Atlas. I forgot the Atlas is gone now, right?
Yeah, I don't know
You're
what that
asking
is.
the wrong people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Iowa City was a great experience. Just my teammates, great group of guys, and just the people I met outside of being a basketball player. I still have those friendships to this day. Um, it's just crazy how it's been over 10 years. It just makes me think how old I am right now. About to be 35 in like a week or two. So I'm just happy to just came across a lot of those guys, a lot of those people. One of my closest friends, Jeff Peterson. As you know, he's the general manager of the Brooklyn Nets now and assistant GM. So just to see him evolve and where he's at. We still stay in touch. It's just amazing what all the great things everyone's doing. So now I feel like I'm the kid coming fresh out of college, looking for that job now. So I guess I have my fun and my vacation. So I'm digging in and keeping my options open, just trying to figure out what I want to do. I'm not sure if I want to live in Chicago. I'm kind of trying to move probably West Coast. I'm kind of intrigued by the good weather. I can't do a cold Chicago winter anymore. It's not appealing to me. I feel like every time I've been overseas, the weather's been cool. It's been all right, but it's not been ridiculously cold. So this year has been like I'm like going through it right now. I just can't wait to leave. So that's kind of like my mindset right now is to kind of get out of Chicago and start a new journey somewhere else.
Yeah, what has retirement like been? And do you miss playing, or are you you played enough where you're just kind of done with it and ready for the next chapter? Kind of how has the last year been?
To be honest with you, I go to the gym every day, but as far as basketball, I haven't played basketball since I stopped playing basketball. Like the moment I got off the court, the last game, took the shoes, threw it in the trash, and I haven't picked up a basketball since. So
You threw your shoes in the trash?
yeah, I was done. I took my insoles out. I need those, but the basketball shoes are gone. Like I just knew that. I think this last year, I knew that I didn't want to do it anymore. When you get tired of like running suicides and doing all this crazy stuff, you just know it's over with for you. So it was basically my second retirement. I was hurt. I got hurt probably like in 2015, I think, and I tore my meniscus, and it was just a crazy situation.
Me too, man. I've done it. I know the feelings.
So how I tore the meniscus was weird because I was playing for a team, and I remember when it happened. I was playing for a team, and I was in practice, and I did some type of move and jerk or something, and I heard like a pop or something like that. And I was like, yo, my knee hurt. And then my knee swelled up for a while. I rested it. I was doing the resting, did the rehab, and I didn't play for a little while. And then it got better. And then I started playing. I finished that season. Then I went and played for another team. And I was playing with this team in Japan, Fukuoka. I was playing for Kobe Bryant's dad during that time. I mean, I was, it felt kind of weird, but at the same time, as the season ended, I was wearing on it too much, and it got to the point where I couldn't do nothing. So I was stuck, and then I ended up playing on another team the following season in the same league. So when I talked to the team, I was playing with Kobe Bryant's dad. The team told me that, Cyrus, you're fine. You need to get rest. Nothing's wrong. You did the X-rays, this, that, and the third. I'm like, okay, cool. So I did rehab at home. Went overseas, played on this new team in the same league as the team I played for. So I went through all the physicals and the stuff like that to get cleared. And then probably 2 weeks later, the team that I used to play for called the new team and told them yeah, his knee's messed up. And I'm like, what? So are you serious? So I'm already a month and a half, 2 months in on this team. And they called me back in the office, set up a doctor's appointment, and they did an assessment, and they was like, his knee's messed up. So the trainer looks me dead in my face and says, Cyrus, I hate to tell you this, but you need knee reconstruction. And I'm like, knee reconstruction? I'm like, are you serious? I'm going crazy. I'm like, yo, my career is over with. I'm damaged goods. So when that happened, word got around all over Japan. It kind of ruined my stock. It just plummeted. And I'm like, this is crazy. So the team's upset with me because they said I lied to them, and I didn't. The doctors told me, and they took my whole month's pay. They gave me $1,000 was get out of here, give me a flight home. And I'm like, y'all owe me my salary. What happened? And just there's nothing I could do about it. It's you lied to us. This is what you get, basically. So I go home and I'm just stuck. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. And I feel like my life just turned upside down. I got all these things I'm doing. I live in Atlanta. I had all these different plans in place. Everything was there, and it was just gone in an instant. So I'm trying to rush to figure it out. So I reached out to a buddy. I'm trying to figure out, how to get a job. Reaching out to this, that, and the third, this connect, that connect. And I end up actually coming back to Iowa in Cedar Rapids. I got a job in insurance at New York Life. That was rough. So I'm packed up my bags, went to my buddy's crib, stayed on his couch for a couple months, working in Cedar Rapids. And it was definitely an experience for me. So when that happened, I knew that job wasn't going to work out for me because it was just strange. It was commission only. I'm over here with all these other bills and stuff going on. I'm like, I can't do this right now. I need to work. I need to make money. So I had left the job. I went to Chicago, and I ended up just working at my old high school, just trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. I ended up going to a doctor, and he told me I had a meniscus tear, and I'm like, are you serious? And I was I felt like my chest. I feel it was like a sign of relief that I just had a meniscus tear. And the doctor told me that, hey, you'll be out for 8 weeks. And I said, fine, let's get the surgery. So I got the surgery, and all I did for that whole year, probably a year and a half, was work. I had these kids I kind of trained a little bit, and then I trained myself and rehab my whole self. I rehab myself. So I did it from 7 in the morning. I went to work, and then I was done at 8, 9 o'clock at night with all my stuff. And I did it for a whole year just to get back to playing basketball. So I got an opportunity to go back to Japan on some third league team, and they gave me the worst contract ever. But I was like, hey, I gotta take a bet on myself. I always gotta bet on myself. So I signed the contract, but I put an out clause in the contract. So I was like, hey, y'all not gonna just have me locked into this contract. So I put the out clause in the contract, and in the contract it said, if you're hurt, if you get any type of injury, you're flying yourself home. We're not paying for you to go home. I'm like, dang, really? Y'all had no faith in me at all. It was ridiculous how cutthroat the basketball business is. It looks so good on the outside, but on the inside is a dirty game. And just to be able to play 10 years of that, man, it's ridiculous. But that happened, and took care of all that. And I played one game, I think 2 games. And then after the second game, another team reached out to me and gave me a better contract. And I took it. And the team I played for was so mad. They was so pissed off at me about it. And it kind of gave me like a bad reputation in Japan. But at the same time, I'm like, listen, you guys gave me a bad contract. So why wouldn't I accept a better contract from a team that's willing to invest in me or, take a risk with working with me? So, I got that opportunity. I took advantage of it, and then I was fortunate enough to go play in Mexico again. And then I was able to get 2 years playing in Germany. And so I was extremely fortunate to have an opportunity to go back to playing like that, because usually when you stop playing for a year and a half, 2, you're done. So I was able to squeeze 4 years out, and I'm extremely happy. And I washed my hands with everything. Like I got all my competitive demons out, so I'm ready to be a normal guy now.
Yeah, so it was basically closure for your career. That last 4-year stretch kind of just was, you were able to kind of redeem, kind of go out on your own terms.
Yeah, it bothered me because I feel like I wasn't able to leave on my own terms. Someone else dictated me leaving, and I just couldn't allow that. So I was happy to get that last 4. So it worked.
What's the biggest difference between U.S. basketball fans and fans overseas, whether it's Europe, Asia, Mexico even? What's been like the biggest difference you've seen across outside the U.S. and in the U.S.? And the biggest similarity even?
U.S., each country is different. I feel like Asia is a whole lot more relaxed than Europe. In Asia, they love you if you got pink shoelaces in your shoestrings, or something ridiculous, or they're cheering for both teams. They're not cheering for just one team. So, in Asia, they're very kind, love giving gifts. So you play a game and you'll come back in the locker room with a bag full of gifts and all types of things. If they really like you, you have a favorite food, they want to know your favorite food is. They bring it to you every time. Like, it was dope. I feel like in Asia, my first year, I don't think Asia was for me because I was missing that drive, and I wasn't getting that every game. It was barely a lot of people. It was barely anybody at the games, and everyone was extremely nice and courteous. I feel like Asia was a league you go to if you got a family, you got kids, you want to go to practice and take it easy. I experienced that in the beginning of my career and not the end of my career. So, I'm spending the end of my career doing 3 days and all this other crazy stuff. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't take it, So, I wish I wish it was flipped around the other direction. But, it was dope. But Asia, it was definitely nice. Europe, when I played in Europe, it's crazy. Like, they know everything about you, especially if you live in that city. If you go out and you got a game the next day, your coach is going to know about it. If you it's like towns fighting against each other. It's like if the referee do something wrong, they on him. The referee. I've seen referees getting ran out of the gyms. I've seen.
What's the worst thing you've seen mid-game?
Mexico. We was in this cartel city. It was in Culiacan.
Oh.
So,
all right.
No. We wasn't in Culiacan. I take that back. We was in the Nogales. So by the Arizona border, some border country, some border city. So we play this team. It's like a playoff game. It's rivals. So you don't know who's who at this game. And we're like the Detroit Pistons in Mexico, the bad boys. We like killing everybody. We got like a bad reputation, but we just destroying everybody. So, we took on that persona because it worked for us. And everybody hated us, but everyone loved to see us play because we were entertaining. So we go to this game in the playoffs, and I think a fan got mad about something. And our coach he didn't help the situation either because he was a Mexican guy. He played on the national team. And, he's telling us like, yeah, they fight, we fight, like, okay. So one game, this guy had a beer. So, they drink alcohol in there. He like threw it on one of the players, like poured it on his head. We was coming to the locker room. He got so mad. He goes in the locker room. It's like a big, huge ladder. Goes out, take the ladder, throws it in the stands. So when that happened, all hell breaks loose. All sides kind of like come and kind of go after us. So we got to run to the locker room. And before you know it, the federales are coming into the gym. They come into our locker room, and we had to like get like a covered escort to our bus to get on the bus. Then we get to the hotel room, and then the police has to sit in front of our hotel room the whole night. And I'm like, I didn't understand why, but now I understand why, because you didn't know who was who in the stands. It could have been some big name cartel person. It could have been anything. So that was a scary moment, but crazy moment. And
so you guys had the Malice in the Palace Mexico edition go down.
Yeah, it was really bad. It was real bad. Yeah, I seen some crazy stuff. Dad and we had a guy who he was really good, but he had like a crazy temper problem, and I forgot what the guy did, and he just like grabbed him by the neck, choked him, and started punching him in the face. What are you doing? We in the playoffs. We need you. So it was wild, man. I think Mexico was like the craziest basketball experience, but I had so much fun there. Like I loved it. I played in Tijuana. I missed it. It was a good time there.
It's really cool.
What was it? What was it like playing for the Iowa United during the basketball tournament? What was that like?
First of all,
comparing that to Mexico.
You know what's funny? I didn't really want to play.
Why not? Why not?
You know what? TBT is fine and all, but I feel like I'm too old for that, personally. I think it's a young man's game, or one of those guys is just a gamer. Like I don't think I was. I wasn't in that mind frame at the time. It's just something to do to kind of be around the guys, be around the players and stuff. And Horner gave me a call and asked me if I wanted to come. Like I knew what it was. They just needed some extra bodies, so I wasn't expecting to be a main guy and whatnot. But I'm glad I was doing their things. Try to set up the Iowa United team. I'll definitely be a fan from the stands when it comes to that moving forward. But it seems like the state of Iowa and Iowa basketball right now is in a good place. You got so many good players. I remember being overseas. I enjoy watching Aaron White. I like that kid.
Oh,
good. He's awesome.
Aaron White.
Yeah,
I grew up watching that guy.
And Devin, watching those guys just play and compete. It was fun to watch them. Just like Aaron, he was born to be a EuroLeague guy. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Like, I don't know the kid, but I just enjoy watching him play.
What are your thoughts?
The way he runs the floor is ridiculous. I mean, Jesus, I wish I had that lung power.
Get up.
What are your thoughts on the current Iowa teams right now with Luka and Wieskamp and Jordan Bohannon? What's kind of your thoughts of the Fran coach teams and the makeup and the potential?
Actually, I haven't really followed Iowa basketball. But actually, I met Garza one time when I was on campus. He's a very tall guy, man. Tall kid. Good, though. Watching him play, just his motor. He got a really good motor. I like his fundamentals. Just from looking at social media and stuff like that, it seems like his dad is like very hands-on about, his plan and what he does.
Yeah.
And I wish him all the best moving forward. I think he'll be a great asset for any team. Right now with the state of basketball, it could be a little difficult, I think, maybe for him, but because his height and you're looking at the way basketball is being played now, it's extremely different from his
game,
his physique, but he puts up the numbers, so the numbers don't lie. So he should get that opportunity. But I feel like the way the direction basketball is going, it might put him at a slight disadvantage. And I really hope that someone gives him a shot. He deserves it. But it's a lot of small ball. I feel like the big man is starting to be extinct now. I feel like now with a big man want to play at the next level in professional sports, he has to be extremely athletic, some form of shot blocker. You're not doing any back to the basket stuff, and you got to be able to extend the floor because teams, they want spacing now. They care about that more than anything. Spreading the floor, spacing out the floor, and big shooting threes. So now, if they NBA decides to implement a four-pointer, you have 6'11", 7-foot guys shooting 4-pointers, which is ridiculous. It's taking away the integrity of the game. But at the same time, we have to fall in line with the changes. You got to thank Golden State for doing all this for us. The basketball, the Draymond Green ball, and shooting threes and playing small ball, but it's different. And I'm watching basketball a lot different. But in Europe, they don't play that way.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Play very different. So I mean, Luka, I understand he probably want that opportunity to play in the NBA. And, anybody wants that, and definitely take it if it's available. But gotta keep in mind, overseas is great too. EuroLeague is great too. You're gonna be practicing a lot, but it's a great experience to be around all that stuff, man. All those people and that environment it's like it reminds you of Iowa, being on campus at Iowa. Everyone, the fans is going crazy for you. You walk the streets, oh my God. It's like that in Europe. So, you got an opportunity to kind of have another college life in Europe. So, just keep all the options open. That's probably the best advice I'd probably give him. If I was, next time telling him something, and don't shun the opportunity to go international. It's not a bad place to go.
Yeah. Speaking of advice, my final question for you was going to be, what is advice you would give to future Hawkeyes?
Be good to everyone you come across, because you never know the type of person. You never know who you're running to. You never know who you meet. You never know who you come across. Have good character, great character, and have integrity about everything you do. Don't be that college athlete that's walking around campus being the biggest jerk. Don't be that person. That's probably the one thing that I'm happy about in my time at Iowa, because I felt like I was just open. You come across a lot of people and they probably want to get your attention or say this and say that, but being standoffish and stuff like that, it just didn't sit well with me. I was very open with everybody, and hey man, what's up? You want a drink? Or you going here, you going there. Oh, you send me a message. Hey, your girlfriend want a ticket for Valentine's Day to the game? Sure, I got some extra ones here. Take it. It's no problem. And what's funny is that those same people that I did that for, not thinking about anything, not wanting anything, those same people I'm still cool with and still have a relationship to this day. Moving 10 years, 10 years removed, even more down the line, I still have a relationship with. And, these guys are helping me, kind of navigate, on my next step in life. Now, just imagine if I could have been the person that was disrespectful to him or been this type of person to him. They look at me and be like, he's a terrible guy. So just maintain, your character and integrity and, a certain way about yourself, even though, I feel like things may not be happening fast for you or right away for you. People are always thinking of you and keeping you in mind always. So, just be a stand-up dude. That's one thing I can say, future Hawkeyes.
Yeah. Jack, do you have any final questions?
No, I think we covered all the bases, man. We hit on everything.
Yeah. Well, we really appreciate you coming on the show, and we had a great time interviewing you, and you're welcome anytime. The younger Hawkeye generation that's going to be listening and watching this podcast is going to love the stories you told and love to hear about Iowa, of 10 years ago and your career, as a Hawkeye and as a professional basketball player that represented Iowa. So we really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate you guys, and go Hawks.
Yeah,
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. Jack, do you want to close this show out?
All right, guys, we will have this episode up by the time you just check social media. You'll know. Definitely not the same time because it always fluctuates, but same place, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. You'll find everything there. Not same time, same place. We will see you guys later.